Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and today I'm going to show you my art haul, my coloring supply goodies, and holy Hannah, what have I done? It's primarily books, and I actually thought I was being good, but I realized I had ordered things that took longer to get here. So let's see what I got. So first on the list is these Posca pens. Let me take off the lid so we can get rid of the reflection. And basically this is their full line. It's 21 markers in the 1mm size. So this is how the nib looks. And these have not been primed, which is why they're white. But I'm excited for these. I really like my white Posca, and so I was happy to get their full line so that I can do some highlights here and there. I've been using an acrylic paint pen, and I like them when they work. They tend to clog up a little bit, and I don't know if it's because the paint dries in the nib. That would be my guess, or whether a little bit of the wax from the pencils gets into that nib. But either way, I kind of struggle with them a little bit, and I haven't had that experience with the white Posca pen. So I just broke down and bought these. They were about $30 or so, 33 maybe, 34 on Amazon. So I'll drop links for everything that I have in the description below. And so let's move on. Okay, so next on the list is the Hannah Karlzon books. On the channel, I had bought Tales from the Forest Kingdom, and I had done that little golden and blue beetle, and I really enjoyed it. And I have a confession to make. When I first joined the adult coloring community, everybody always said, oh, Hannah Karlzon's books. Guys, I just couldn't get behind them. I thought, what does everybody see in them? So I opened randomly here in Jewelry Box, and the whole faces thing with the stars, I was just like, I don't know. I just don't understand it. I don't know why everyone's so enamored with this book. But then as I started to, move along in my journey, I started seeing people's finished works. And I was like, oh, they really, all of these images, when I first looked at them, they just seemed very simplistic. And I was like, what is it about this? Now that I've colored them and I've seen more colored, I am in awe of these books. And the paper is divine. I can use Inktense, I can use Neocolor, I can use all my mediums and play with abandon, and I love it. So I went on a little spree. I bought the Jewelry Box book. I bought Grains of Gold, which is kind of a compilation with 11 new drawings, which I didn't know, but I don't care. It just gives me more opportunity to color some of these a different way, because sometimes I look at some of her images and I think, oh, I should color that in blues and greens. And then I'm like, no, wait, I want to go pink and orange. And so with this book, I think I'm going to be able to do that, because it's some of her more popular pictures, done, again, or repeated. And I love like these owls. Like there's so many different ways you can go with the golds and the blue and the purple, or the golds and the red and the orange. And I have a lot of ideas, and so I'm kind of excited about that. I did get Summer Nights, and I got Daydreams. So I know that these are older books. I also have Forest Kingdom, Witch's Cottage, Magical Dawn, and The City Among the Stars. So I'm nearing the end of the books that she has out currently. I know that she has one coming out soon, but it's not available in the United States. And so I'm going to check into that. She has one other one available on Amazon, Spirit Animals, I think it is. And I think I'm going to break down and buy it because I'm really close to owning all of hers. But that one didn't speak to me like some of these did. It is a lot more faces, which I don't know. Maybe I just need to start doing a few faces and then I'll be more into them. But I'm super excited to work in these books because they really are divine to work in. I also ordered, believe it or not, in February, the Mine Rice Dirch Asian, the Asia book, because I saw a few colored images and I was really motivated to buy this book. Unfortunately, the first time around, I waited like 6 weeks and the book just never came, and so they refunded my money and I tried again, and once again it took, I want to say, well, let's see, February, March, April, I ordered it again and it took like four weeks, maybe 4 or 5 weeks to get it the second time. I think it's worth the trouble though. There's some really fun images in this one, and once again, the size is right, and I like the variety, and so I'm really looking forward to working in this one. I bought this one, Under the Microscope, Underwater. I like underwater images because they're so colorful. When I see other people's pictures, I love the muted tones, the olives and that muted purple and that kind of stuff. I just struggle to create that because I tend to be drawn naturally to brighter colors, and so all of mine end up being a little brighter than some of the more muted, softer things that I see other people do. And to me, underwater images like this one really lend themselves to that because, I mean, come on, this fish has leaves for fins. You can color them anything you want. And so I really like that. So I'm looking forward to working in this book. Next up is The Magical City. Peta Hewitt, she's an amazing artist that works in this book primarily with ink tints, and I've watched some of her videos and I really enjoy her style. This is a book that I was never really, like, when I looked at it, it just didn't speak to me. But then when I saw her completed images, I was like, oh, that's beautiful, or that's fun. Like, that would be fun to color. And so I thought, I need to get this book. So I bought this book from one of the used sellers online because I want to say this book was like 18 bucks new, and this seller was selling it for like something like $8, and it said like new. And so I was like, okay, I'm a reader, so I've bought tons of books that way, never had a problem. When I got this one in the mail, it was simply in a plastic, just like an envelope, not a padded envelope, just an envelope made out of plastic, and it was ripped. And so on this back area here, on these back pages where it's the key, you know, where they have some sort of hidden objects. But this got ripped because of the shipping. It wasn't done like this prior. That was kind of frustrating, but I looked through the book and none of the main pages were damaged at all. Like everything else was in really good shape. However, it smells like perfume, like that powdery perfume. I don't know if it was incense or if it was actual perfume, but sitting right here like this, I can't smell it. If I do this, I get this little waft of perfume, which is really annoying. But aside from that, it's not very strong. I contacted the seller and I said, hey, I just want to let you know what happened. I took pictures of the envelope and the markings on the back, and I told them that it smelled like perfume, and I said, I just want you to be aware so you can do better when you package your books that are international books. And I got a nice response from the seller, and they refunded my money without me asking, and I got to keep the book. So I consider that a win. I wasn't necessarily asking for money back because I feel like I still have the book and the perfumey smell is minimal. Anyway, that's my story on the Magical City. I think I'm gonna try and do a few color alongs with Peter Hewitt and see how it goes, and then I'll probably do some just completely on my own. I think color alongs are a good way to learn, and I'm always open to learning. So fully understand all of these books have been around. There isn't a single book that I showed today that was necessarily new. But I find all the time, I'll watch old art hauls and I will see books that may have been out for 5 years, but I've never seen them, so they're new. So I hope that maybe this one is one of those for you. This one's called The Ink House. It's by Rory Dobner. It is a hardbound book. It does have great paper, and it is actually a storybook. So it actually tells a story of these animals that have a party in a house. And I think the images are fun. And Zucchini Kitty did a whole series on the Ink House, and I thought it looked like a lot of fun to color. And so I'm really looking forward to working in this book, and I'm leaning towards Distress Ink and picking maybe one brand of color pencils to work in. She did ink tints in hers, and so I want to make sure that I'm doing my own thing. I like being influenced by people, but sometimes when you see something from someone and it's really good, it's easy for you to completely copy what they do just because you're like, oh, I love that. I want mine to look like that. I feel like if I limit myself to one videos again when I'm doing it, I feel like I can come out with my own stuff because I haven't really watched her color alongs. I've just simply watched her video of the flip through, which is what made me want to get this book. So that being said, I'll be coloring along. I may do some color alongs in this depending on what people on my channel want to see. So that's it for this time. I do have some things on order that haven't arrived, which I was hoping would be here for this video, but they're not. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button if you're curious about those. And we'll see you on the next one.